Welcome to Mic'd and Medicated. And if you're watching, you might be able to tell by our gorgeous pink and red outfits that this is our Valentine's Day episode.
Coming from 69 FM, this is your love station. Play all the jams that your lover girl wants to hear. Love and marriage.
Love and marriage
Go together like a horse and carriage.
You can't have one without
Out
the other.
Or I love this one too, because isn't everyone's husband singing this to you on Valentine's Day? L is for the way you look at me. O is you're the only one I see.
And
V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that I adore.
And
I think we should have been on Broadway. Do you think we should be cast?
I would love that.
I mean, because we really are musical.
I was going to say in another life, I would have loved to be a rock star.
Whoa, really? You don't
love
give me rock
singing.
star energy.
No.
There's a difference between I love singing and I want to be a rock star. Like I'm thinking like heavy metal, like like drugs and crop tops.
No, I'm thinking Madonna.
Okay, it's a little rock and roll.
I just, who doesn't enjoy singing? But back to our episode. Today, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day because it is Valentine's Day this week.
And for any man listening, this will air on the Thursday before Valentine's Day. So you still have 2 days to pick up overpriced roses, chocolate jewelry, and hopefully a nice card.
And if you haven't gotten a reservation for dinner yet,
You're sorry.
Screwed.
I like that. I mean, it is every man's dream to overpay for a dinner that will probably disappoint their wife or girlfriend and have 6 courses of food that you don't want to eat.
Right. And I wonder if our husbands on Valentine's Day are going to give us anything, because I feel like
No.
when you start dating, there's an expectation, because I almost feel like Valentine's Day is a litmus test. Like, how serious are we?
Well, actually, that's interesting because we're going to talk about the history of Valentine's Day, but jewelry became the most significant thing to receive once it became really like a gift-giving holiday. This is not when you think it was in the 1950s, because jewelry was permanent.
Interesting.
So that's why we should only really get jewelry on Valentine's Day.
And we're also going to talk about how it was so much easier when we were growing up and even before that, because love and celebrating Valentine's Day was between you and the person you were in a relationship with. And now everyone is so performative and everything is so, narcissistically broadcast on the internet that it's no longer just about what you and your partner do to celebrate. It's like, will it be good enough for the internet?
Well, I like actually what you wrote. I think you had this really, it's so profound. I have to actually read it. I'm reading an Eva Heyman original. Hold on. Damn it. Oh, this is where it is. Okay, ready? No, I didn't see it yet. I'm just trying to get you excited. I feel like a comic trying to warm up before the big.
Oh, I know what you're thinking about. Valentine's Day is less about being in love and more about being seen in love.
Exactly. I mean, that is a good quote. And that was worth the wait, wasn't it? I love scrolling on Valentine's Day and watching people's stories and posts like, to my soulmate, my like love, my all this like word vomit, and the more profound the post is, the more that person wants to kill the spouse or vice versa. Like if you have to profess it online, you ain't happy, and we all know it. So just fucking get off Instagram, because you're gonna and maybe try to work on the relationship. Like the only thing my husband's gonna get is I'm gonna post a reel of like a husband taking a long shit and me and the wife being upset and tag him. Happy Valentine's Day. Because that's really what
your gift to me can be shorter shits.
Right. And you know what's interesting? Like you would think Valentine's Day would be like a mutual thing, but it's not. I don't no one cares about the spouse. It should be about the wife, the girlfriend. Why is that?
I know. Because I think we're traditional, and I think in traditional relationships, the man takes care of the woman. So I like the idea of it going both ways, but I do think that's
We like chivalry.
yeah, that's chivalrous to have the man plan and do something lovely for the woman or whoever's the man.
Right. I mean, every woman wants to be surprised and then disappointed. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I do love chivalry. I love when I, go to buy a gift for my husband and the woman says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, your Amex has been declined." And I have to call my husband and he says, "Well, you've reached the limit I put on your card." And I'm like, "Well, I asked for this shit. I asked for chivalry." So he fucking controls the Amex bill. Right? You can't, it's not all fucking roses and chocolate, is it? Right? I mean, if you want them to open the door for you and pay your bills, you might get "You have reached the limit." And then I call 1-800-25 numbers and 14 Filipino ladies later who, because they, no, they were like in another country, was it? And I finally get the right thing. They're like, "Was that number one?" No, Spanish, Espanol, número two. And I get to 10 minutes, and then I tell them my card's not working, and they're like, "Well, we need to speak to the primary card holder. You do not have authorization to increase your limit." And I'm like, my husband's not getting laid on Valentine's Day or a gift because I don't fucking have imaginary cash. Sorry, that was a little bad, but it's true. Women have to accept the fact, which I am, that if we want our husbands to, plan the evening and get us a gift and be the one who, brings home the bacon, because, when we make bacon, we're not fucking sharing that. But then we have to deal with the side effects, which are Amex declines and gifts that we hate.
But
actually, I don't think we should have to deal with that.
I was about to say, do you want to be surprised? I am very conflicted. Do you want to just say, "This is what I want," and then receive it? Which is nice, but I would argue that's not the romantic way to gift give. Or do you want your husband to use his imagination and what he knows about you and what he enjoys and what he thinks he would like you to have from him, and let him choose it, give it to you, and you love it because it came from him? I don't know which way I want it, and I seem to be unhappy in both scenarios.
Yeah, I think our husbands have less of imagination than we think. I think they're thinking did I pay that bill? Do I have to shit? Shit, I didn't, do this send this email. They're not thinking, how can I romance Eva? And you know what it is? It's because they've already done it. They're married. They've had kids.
You own the cow. Why buy the milk?
Exactly.
Oh wait, no. What's that saying?
You're not going to buy the milk if you can get the cow for free.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to buy the cow if you get the milk for free.
So now they own the cow.
They own the cow and the milk. I mean, hello, I can't even function without calling him to fix my Amex card. So they don't have to do that much. It's biology in some ways, because the origination of Valentine's Day, which I think we wanted to talk about because I found it interesting, and we both kind of thought it was sort of, obviously we didn't really know it was a Christian holiday, which we're not telling our Jewish husbands. Okay, because then they'll use it as more of an excuse.
It's a universal holiday.
It's a Hallmark holiday, okay? But we thought it was more of a modern holiday, and it really goes back thousands of years ago. And it was a Roman festival or harvest for fertility. And it was it was the same dates. It was between February 13th and 15th. And it was probably big Romans, men, trying to find the woman that they would have a baby with. It was to make,
to procreate.
To procreate. It was about fertility. So again, our husbands don't have to do that, right? So I'm just going all the way back. And then, obviously it was the church saw that as sort of a gruesome thing and animalistic. And then they made it more of about romance. And then there was a priest who
so romance was a way to put
does it come from the word Roman? Just thought about that. Sorry.
Romance? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm just thinking Romance
everything
languages
comes from Rome, I think. At one
that's
point.
true. Everything except the gifts our husbands give us.
But I think it's interesting that they wanted to put this euphemistic spin on it, that it was one huge, excuse to have sex and make children. And now they're calling it romance. And in some ways, that's why men romance when they want to get in your pants. Like it's sort of all connected, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm making that point.
All right, keep going. Carry on.
No, I mean, that is the point. Like, it is all down to biology, right? Like, they
wanted to make it sound better. It's a euphemism. Like, oh, we're going to call it romance instead of like, go stick your wee-wee in the nearest woman you find.
First of all, a wee-wee is a vagina. So I don't know what wee-wees just stick it into
pee-pee. Is that true?
Yeah. Pee-pee is a penis and a wee-wee is a vagina.
Okay, keep going.
I don't know. Anyway, also, you probably needed some romance because I'm thinking about it. And like back then, those people were not attractive, right? I mean, the women were probably ugly. There was no Botox. There was no waxing.
There wasn't even deodorant.
Oh, God. Like, what did they must have had to add something, right? Otherwise, you're just, I don't even think about nasty ass old Roman women or young Roman women. They were probably teenagers. So anyway, then you couldn't get married at a certain point, which seems a little strange in the church. So they had this priest who was secretly marrying people now.
Oh, is that Saint Valentine?
That is. Now priests do other things secretly, but sorry. Yes,
that
and he left a note.
Probably part of it back then too, I imagine.
I'm sure everybody was always stumping and
it was.
No, the Greeks were the gays. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes,
the Greeks had little boys that were their friends.
Okay.
But so Saint Valentine was secretly marrying people, and of course, as Romans would do, they would execute people they didn't like. So before he was executed, he wrote some like poem or love note from Valentine, and then it became Saint Valentine's holiday, and then became then roses and chocolate. Actually, I thought that was a newer like 1950s
like a commercial edition.
No, that was like the original thing because flowers became like a love language, and so roses were they represented love, and the red was like passion, and chocolate was like an aphrodisiac. Which, I mean, now you need like a fucking chocolate mushroom.
It's basically Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist who does
the vagina flowers. Yeah, exactly. I always want to call her Georgia O'Keeffe. But yes, it is. So the red flowers and the chocolate. I guess back then they didn't have like a lot of stuff to change or alter the brain chemistry.
Right?
It was luxury. It was an aphrodisiac.
Yes.
I mean, I think tequila and oysters sound a lot better to make a baby than roses and chocolate, but that's just my opinion.
Right. I totally agree.
Right? Like, who wants to have sex after you've had a fucking box load of chocolate?
But I always felt that way about oysters too.
I don't eat oysters. I just meant you're right. I don't want to eat oysters and then just tequila. Diamonds and tequila. So anyway, and then jewelry became like a newer thing when they would give like a locket because it was like supposed to be like permanent. My love is very permanent.
Because jewelry lasts forever.
Of course, De Beers. Diamonds are forever. Or is that K Jewelers? I used to love in the 90s when people actually watched commercials and you'd see the K's. Like all, the month of February would be the diamond for your love. Or, it's all those commercials. I'm like, my future husband better not be shopping at K's. That's all I have to say. Walmart's new jewelry line. No, my husband better be going bigger, better go home. I knew then. Better be, yeah. So then anyway, in the 50s, it became this like Hallmark holiday. And actually, I found a little card that my grandfather had bought for my grandma, like a Hallmark holiday card from the 50s. And it was like, have a gay Valentine's.
Oh, no, but very sweet.
But like, could you imagine a card now today? It'd be like, have a gay Valentine's Day. That was a word of being like a happy, for those of you who don't know that. But anyway, so now we're here and now Jews celebrate it. It was a Christian or pagan thing. So Jews celebrate it. It's commercial. We're fucking doing it everywhere. Restaurants are taking advantage of us. Florists are taking advantage of us.
And there's extra pressure this year because it falls on a Saturday.
That really sucks. Well, yeah, you're right. It sucks because now if you were somebody who didn't want to go out on Valentine's Day because you felt a little awkward, it's a lot easier to not go out on a Monday.
Totally. You have no excuse. And I have to say for the record that Caroline and I are both not fans of Valentine's Day.
No.
It just feels
like kind of lesbian.
And well, to me, it just feels like a cop-out. It's like either you want to do something on Valentine's Day because you're in a relationship with somebody, or it's just not relevant for you. But like, why make Valentine's Day? It feels like you're trying to co-opt it and make it a like girl power holiday.
It's not a fucking like bra burning day. It's like, take your bra off, baby.
Right. Like I almost feel with population declining and people having so much trouble getting, pregnant because they're waiting longer to get married, have kids later. We should actually bring back the sex in Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and maybe we should bring back like women, holding the cow a little longer,
Like maybe
don't give so much milk for free. Maybe a taste, maybe one udder, but not the whole fucking thing. Now, like, girls are giving it up like day one. There's no like, what the hell? Guys don't. Yes, if it's right, it's right. But you gotta play the game a little bit, right?
Well, that's going back to what I was saying earlier. I think what's interesting about Valentine's Day is when you're in those initial stages of dating, it is significant in the sense of like how your partner treats Valentine's Day is a sign of how serious or significant they view the relationship. And then once you're married, and to your point, you own the cow and the milk, you either have a romantic husband, but unfortunately most of us, if you're anything like me, like beat it out of our husbands because the gifts just don't hit the mark.
They keep getting worse.
Or the romance goes away because the romance was again to get in the pants.
Right. And if your vagina is not working, then it's also hard. or should I say not hard?
Oh my God. We decided though, we're going to keep this episode tight. We're not going to go on too many tangents.
No, we're not. We're going to keep it real. And I'm thinking about my first Valentine's Day with Jeremy, because you're right. That sets the stage. And so my card was a business card. And he wrote, it was his business card.
Was it his handwriting?
It was sweet. He obviously was at his office and didn't have time to get a card, but he did make it romantic. He like wrote turn over, and I turned over the card and it said, "Will you be my Valentine?" It was very sweet. And then he gave me a necklace and he said to me, "So this was the other option I bought for your birthday last month, and I missed the return window. So I'm giving it to you." Now,
that is classic Jeremy.
Classic.
Because he is
Why would you say that?
No, I mean in a good way. He's sweet. He's thoughtful, but he's also defensive and maybe a little protective of himself. So that's like a joke to kind of like diminish putting himself out there and being vulnerable.
I didn't even think about that.
Whereas
you think he's using comedy as a defense mechanism? I don't know anybody else who does that. No fucking way. I think you're right.
Einstein.
No, Freud. Einstein was more like MC squared.
I'm Freud. So it's funny because Doug
what was your first Valentine's Day?
Remains very romantic, and he's always been so beautiful. In terms of the cards, in terms of the cards I get. No, he's really good at cards. I don't remember our first Valentine's. Surprise, surprise.
Wow, Doug, you really hit it out of the park, that one.
But I do feel
like you don't remember, like it was so much champagne, so fun, right?
Well, we were in college. He was in a fraternity.
Were you sleeping on the floor then?
His head was shaved, so I don't know how romantic it could have been. You had to.
Everybody has a Mr. Clean fantasy.
Part of your initiation, you have to shave your head for the fraternity. But I do feel like his gifts were very guarded in the sense of they were like gifts you would give or get from your grandma, not gifts that for like a lover. So I do remember one of my earliest gifts from Doug was a little porcelain box that had
like a pill box,
granny flowers on it, and you opened it. Yeah, it was bigger than a pill box, but it was probably like the size of a clementine.
What the fuck are you supposed to do with that? What is that?
Well, here's at the box? Time,
give me your box. So here's a box.
I wasn't so difficult and high maintenance. I think I said I loved it. Oh, give me your box.
Here's a box for your box. So funny. You're not making him sound, no offense, Doug, very romantic. Like,
well, no, but
he had a bald head. You don't know what he did. And he gave you a granny box.
Okay, he was a 19-year-old college student. And no, what I'm saying is like his words were always so romantic, and he always wrote very beautiful, heartfelt notes to me. But his gifts were always like, we're not that close. Meaning like the first time I ever got jewelry from him, I think was 4 years into our relationship.
Oh my fucking God.
And I still have it. It's a bracelet. And I think it was from, do you remember that place downtown in Soho called Antique Addiction or something?
No. And it sounds like I would have never liked it. Was that like kind of that, I don't like, brushed gold jewelry and like very dainty shit. It was probably like a dainty, like dangly hanging with like a little gem.
It was
4 years for a piece of jewelry.
I feel
And you
like
wonder why you don't get a lot of jewelry
giver.
gifts now? Well, that's your fault. He showed you what he was capable of giving. Like, it's take it or leave
I'm
it.
now
Jeremy
trying
always
to-
gave me jewelry, but I was like, this is not my style. So we're going to up that. Actually, the first piece of jewelry he gave me, we were walking in like the village when, and there was like people like selling stuff on the street, and there was like a clear meth addict. He had 4 teeth and he was cuckoo crazy, and Jeremy bought me a bracelet or necklace from him with a shark tooth. It was romantic.
That is sweet.
So I was like, so you don't have teeth and you're selling me a necklace with a shark tooth. Interesting. But yeah, so I mean, he always liked giving me jewelry, but we really we upped the price range and the quality, which is probably why I don't get that many gifts anymore. But
I would rather have fewer significant pieces.
yeah. Okay, Doug, she'd rather have like one nice cocktail ring. Just kidding. Jeremy, I would like only things that are not lab diamond and real and very special and big.
But can we just talk about how Valentine's Day has changed? Because I think it's so interesting to understand the history and how it continued to take on this new meaning and sort of expectation in society. And now I think with Valentine's Day and with dating apps and
even
with
schools, like kids have to make cards at school. Like, it's kind of weird if you think about the origins of the holiday to like give your whole class a Valentine's Day. Like,
wait, what is this assignment? I haven't heard about
I'm
this.
saying, like, you know, kids have to bring Valentine's Day cards to everybody in the class.
Right.
Or, like, it's become a tradition, and it's weird because it's about fucking somebody.
By the way, that is
So
really,
fucking
you're
weird.
bringing me back. I remember when my boys were little, they would have to do they would exchange Valentine's
Right.
cards.
Those like little cards and
oh my God, what a pain in the ass of a
Right.
working mother. I remember actually
every mother is working, Eva. Some in the home, some out of the home.
Right. But then I also remember doing handmade ones, like, because I think it was
Oh, you must
Eleanor. I
have sucked
can't
at that.
remember. No, she did it, but I
Oh,
just
yeah.
remember like the stress of making sure you had everything, and then you have to have one for every kid because God forbid a kid not be left
But
out.
now it's kind of weird, and it's like, oh,
And then the kid comes home at the end of the day with a bag of Valentines, and there's always one mom who like puts up with ribbon and so it's like a heart pencil. It's like,
you can't do that
how
shit
do
now.
we get from pagan
Like, oh,
sexual
let's make a baby
to heart number 2 pencils.
with bunny rabbits and like giving everybody the same because we're all equitable.
Right. And then I think also your experience with Valentine's Day has to do with whether or not it was a holiday in your family. I know some people, and Caroline, you may be like this, where Valentine's Day is a family holiday. So like the kids wake up and there's
this year it is.
So
I'm
what
gonna
are
be
you
in
doing?
Florida with my parents, which I'm so excited about, and my kids. So I think we're gonna have a really romantic triple date. My kids, they're not really on a date, but myself and my husband and my parents. Sounds romantic.
But that's what I'm saying. So some people choose to celebrate as a family. Like we
didn't
get
choose
things
that.
for
We
the
just happened. It
kids.
happens to be President's Day weekend, and we're
Right.
staying with them. But maybe
So-
we'll celebrate Thursday.
I was about to say, what do you think about, like, because when it's your anniversary
mm-hmm.
or a birthday, you can say, oh, well, like, that's a Tuesday, so let's celebrate on a Saturday. But I don't know, like, do you get a rain check with Valentine's? I feel like you either celebrate that night or it's past. Like, it's weird to be like, oh, honey, we're going to be with my parents on Valentine's Day.
so
So
funny. I
let's you
think
and
the
I have
opposite.
Valentine's Day another night.
I think it's the opposite because, like, your anniversary, like that date really means something, or your birthday, like that's the day. Where like Valentine's Day, I feel like if it's just about like connecting and romance, like you could have a designated night close to that date that you're like, this is about reconnecting and having romance. I
Like
actually
the
think
Save
it's
the Marriage trip.
right. I mean, now that my children are joining my Save the Marriage trip, I feel like everybody, I need a Save the Marriage night. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure too.
Yes.
Like I always find like that random night that my husband and I go out is can almost be better than the just all of this like energy that you focus and you're waiting and disappointed, and like sometimes holidays are hard because women have so much, our expectations are just so much higher
I
than
think
our
you should
husbands can
speak
give.
for yourself.
Your expectation, but you have expectations.
But
You
here's the thing.
pretend.
You've almost made, it's like before this episode started, I was like, Doug and I don't really do anything on Valentine's Day. Like we're happy to sit home, like order in dinner and
Well, then he's a genius.
watch a show together.
Doug is a fucking
but
genius.
then when you said like, I all of a sudden was like, you're right. So it's also like, it's not only your own expectations, but it's also like the expectation, because then everyone's like, what did you do for Valentine's Day? What did you do for Valentine's
You said
Day?
that beautiful quote. It's not about the love you have with your spouse. It's like being seen, by others. But for me, it's not being seen, other people seeing me celebrate it. It's sort of like my husband seeing me on Valentine's Day.
Very profound. I actually think that this episode is a microcosm for marriage and relationships, in that it's really complicated, one, to know what you want and to ask for it and be clear about what you need and want. Two, it's really hard to surrender and be vulnerable and not control everything and let your husbands be in the driver's seat. And C, it's really hard because we live in such a transparent, always on, Instagram world, that it's hard to feel like whatever you're doing may not be enough, in quotes, even though like you and your husband are clear about it. There's also like, I don't think I care, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who care, that if somebody says, what'd you do for Valentine's? That if you're just like, oh, we just stayed home and ordered in, that feels less than.
Well, it's not great, but I was going to, no, but you know what? I actually had this because I do think we are modern day philosophers. I had this sort of aha moment when you said, we want to let our husbands drive the car.
Yeah.
And I realized that I want my relationship to be like a driver's ed car, where like we have two sets of everything, right? Like the teacher has a gas and a brake,
like
and a
you
car.
could override.
Yes, exactly. Like you made the wrong turn. Fuck it. Great turning. That's my relationship.
Okay,
it's a driver's ed car.
But Caroline, you do have that because you go to a hotel, and if you don't like it,
right? Because it's like I'm not going to let the student crash.
You know how lucky you are. Whereas I don't have a driver's ed car. It's like,
well, that's your problem. I asked for a driver's ed car.
Right.
You wanted a Volvo, a Suburban, with like ski racks on top.
Well, no, it's more like I'm a backseat driver, but I don't have any controls. So
okay, I
can't change anything, but it gets ruined anyway by just backseat driving.
Okay, because you don't fucking know what you want, you'd be the worst fucking driver's ed teacher. Your husband would literally be turning like, no, left, right, left, brake, gas, start, fast, slow, fast, slow. Like that's why you don't have a driver's ed car. Like I know I know which turn to take. I'm like, we're going right. You, like your husband, would be like banging his head against the windshield, Like it's better you're in the back because he can just ignore you, because you're going to be like, turn left. No, now you're going to turn right. Now, you wishy-wash. You're like, I don't want something expensive. No, actually, this is not expensive enough, or I don't want this. So you don't know what the fuck you want. Okay, I do.
I have one more thing we need to talk about related to Valentine's Day.
Well, this is the episode, so
I
this is a good time.
think gift giving is related to price. I don't think that a more thoughtful gift is more money.
No.
But you just said expensive, not expensive. I think it's more about what I want, what I don't want, what I need, what I don't need.
You pretend if you get a gift that it's too expensive, you don't want to accept it. But that's not really the reason. It's just maybe not what you wanted. Like you would still take something that maybe was even more expensive.
It's money independent, but
I don't think it's totally money independent. Like if I wanted, a beautiful diamond necklace and my husband got me a candy necklace, it would be not funny.
or lab diamonds.
Or lab diamonds, it would be a ha no, So I think at this age, it's like, yeah, how much money you're going to put down for me? I'm the one being like, all right, I hit our limit. I'm clearly not going and buying jewelry for myself. So it's like, I'm worth more to you. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. I think my Valentine's Day gift should be a lot of therapy, because that is a fucked up thing. But to me, it's like more money means I love you more.
But what's interesting about you is I think you're being very honest. You're an authenticist. But I am
romantic.
But I also think you could care less about showing up and having other girls remark on something. Whereas I think
this is not for other people. Right. I want it because I care about good things.
But I do think there are a lot of people like in our society,
of course,
who part of the wanting something nice is to be able to show it when you go out and feel like you're keeping up with the Joneses. That is not you at all. You could care less about that. You are the Jones.
I'm not the Jones. Okay. I
thought that's a compliment. Is that not a compliment?
I mean, I don't think I'm, well, now the Jones are Bezos. So maybe I'm a Jones. I was going to think I wanted to be Mrs. Robinson somehow. That just came into mind. weird. Yeah, no, it was a compliment, but I don't think of myself like that. Like you should have seen me this morning walking around and you couldn't identify me.
No. I just meant it in
I
terms
get it.
of...
I get it. Like also I'm confident, but I don't give a fuck about what other people think.
Like I don't...
Otherwise I wouldn't be on this podcast with you.
Fair enough.
If I cared about having things for those reasons, this would not be the right profession.
Right. I think that Valentine's Day can be a beautiful, happy thing. And after this whole episode, what I'm actually taking away is, why wouldn't I use this excuse to go out with my husband to a nice restaurant?
I don't know.
Share a bottle of wine and connect, because we have so few moments to be without our kids and without the distractions of home, and to be out dressed up for each other, not going out with other couples, not going to somebody's, dinner party or birthday.
I agree.
And so I actually think everyone should get off their tush and celebrate Valentine's, no matter what stage of relationship you're in, because it's about connecting. It's about... I agree. And like being together.
We just have to figure out, as middle-aged women or whatever we are, and I'm still fertile. I don't know if you are, but you might. I don't know. I'm not having any more babies, but I don't know if that I send any hormone smells out there to the universe. But like, how do we? We want to make our husbands court us, but we also should. You know what?
I actually think I'm more attractive that I couldn't get pregnant again.
I think you might be right. That is really funny.
By the way, I could still get pregnant. Thank you.
I'm sorry, but maybe actually this whole thing is we should seek to understand before seeking to be understood. That's like where this always comes down to.
Stephen Covey is really smart.
Yeah, maybe I should try to understand what my husband wants to do, but I'm afraid, what if he doesn't want to do anything on Valentine's Day?
I have a feeling if that
he might want to be alone in the bathroom.
If we asked your husband, he might want to save money.
He would want to he would want no gifts. He would want he'd want to maybe have alone time.
This episode has made me really looking forward to Valentine's Day, and for once to actually put a lot of effort into it, to dress up, to make a dinner reservation.
Your husband should make the dinner reservation.
Oh, interesting.
And then you can, then
you can be disappointed.
This will be the last story that will end, because this is actually very funny. It was February 14th, 2020. We all know how that year went. And I had, my daughter at the time was 6 weeks old. And I hadn't really been out to a restaurant. And Jeremy picks a kind of very depressing, 1950s Italian restaurant. It was so not what I wanted, because I already felt disgusting. I really needed a mood to feel good. And he was like, Caroline, we live in New York City. We can go out anytime we want. We literally did not go out for 18 months after that night. Not for 18 fucking months, not to a restaurant. So, you know what? Don't say next time. Make it this time.
Brilliant. Happy Valentine's Day. Mic drop.
Mic drop.